This video is brought to you by the patrons over at Dandyland and viewers like you. So you want to start a vintage menswear wardrobe? Well, I've been wearing vintage for over 10 years now, and in this video, I'll show you how. What's up, folks? My name's Dandy Wellington. I do videos on jazz, style, and culture, and in this video, we're gonna talk about what, in my opinion, is the holy grail of style aesthetics.
I have seen the grail!
No grail here.
I have seen it! I have seen it!
Vintage style. The 20s are back again, so I'm gonna lay out 3 essential pieces of advice I think are crucial to anyone seeking to create a vintage style wardrobe in 2021. Now, you may be wondering, who is this guy and why does he have any business telling me anything about vintage? Well, I've been wearing true vintage and have had a vintage style aesthetic in my wardrobe for over 10 years. I'm not talking about dressing up for your sister's Great Gatsby party style aesthetic.
A little party never killed nobody.
I mean, true vintage style aesthetic. It's been a major part of my life and my sartorial identity. I also pride myself on regularly mixing modern and vintage items in my outfits to achieve a consistent vintage style aesthetic. So I have real world experience with this, as vintage is a permanent part of my lifestyle. Just so you know, this list can be applied to any gender identity, although many of my examples will be directed towards menswear and menswear aesthetics. And be sure to stay till the end because the last one on this list is important. And for those interested in a deeper dive on this subject, I go into more detail in my wardrobe building classes, link in the description. Step 1, inspiration. One of the most important places to start when building your vintage style is inspiration. In every exploration of style, inspiration is key and will help you gain crucial bodies of knowledge to build your style. When creating a new style, you should be familiar with various aspects of that aesthetic and how it manifests on different body types and in different life situations. Through inspiration and research, you'll be able to learn terminology, traditional style rules, and more importantly, how this particular style aesthetic speaks to you. You can look at film stars of a particular period, or old advertisements, or maybe you want to focus on real people of the past and how they dressed. Or maybe you want to be inspired by people who wear vintage today. Listen, having strong inspiration is so important. It's something you need to focus on even before you start shopping, because chances are if you don't have a strong inspiration, you don't have a strong sense of what you really like and what would probably work with your aesthetic, you'll end up wasting money. Trust me, I've done it. A big part of inspiration isn't just looking to the past and seeing what's out there and what's happened, but also figuring out what resonates with you. That is the key thing that will help you along your vintage style path. But speaking of shopping, inspiration and research are also important there. They can help you discover the real-world retailers that can help you achieve your new vintage style aesthetic. Whether you want to shop modern heritage brands like Ralph Lauren, Paul Stuart and J Press, brands with a vintage aesthetic, or Repro brands like Thomas Farthing or J Cathcart. Or you can shop from sellers who are actually selling vintage, like Richard's Fabulous Finds in Chicago, Bobby from Boston in Boston, and Crowley Vintage in New York. Knowing this vast field of retailers can help you achieve your ideal look from head to toe. Oh, by the way, if you're new here and you're getting value out of this video, please subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell so you can get notifications. Doing that lets YouTube know that this video is valuable to you and you want to see more. It really helps me out. Did you do it? All right, thanks so much. Let's go to number 2, the 4 points of purchase. These are 4 points to keep in mind as you start to shop and build your unique vintage style. The first point is to start with wardrobe staples and foundation pieces. These items are the core of your wardrobe. They are dress shirts and shoes, and in many cases, suits. These items should be simple and reliable, in neutral colors. Creams, grays, navies, browns, and blacks. In shirts, we're talking whites, blues, and simple stripes and checks. With simple and reliable staples like this, you can build any style aesthetic. When you start shopping, be sure to keep an eye out for staple items that have details that match your style aesthetic. For instance, this shirt is from Uniqlo. It's not vintage at all, but the point collar makes it possible for me to incorporate it into my wardrobe. Next up, fit. Now, your clothes definitely need to fit. Like, why would you wear clothes that don't fit? It's the difference between personal style and a costume. Make sure you know your body measurements and ideal clothing measurements before you go shopping. This way, you'll be able to purchase items that will live in your wardrobe forever. Also, look at how clothes should fit based on your inspiration. How did people wear their clothes? Were the rises of their trousers higher? What's the button stance of the jackets? What's the width of the trouser legs? It's also helpful to find a good tailor or learn how to do alterations yourself. When it comes to vintage, doing alterations is basically an everyday thing. Not every day, but it happens a lot. Trust me, it doesn't matter how incredible a vintage find is if it doesn't fit you. I've had situations where I found something in mint condition, something I'd been looking for forever, but it didn't fit me, so I didn't buy it. Next is something I like to call the rule of 3. Well, the rule of 3 to 5.
The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
It basically says every item in your wardrobe should work with at least 3 or more other items to help you create a full outfit. This is why staple and foundation pieces that fit are important. They'll be able to work with almost anything else in your wardrobe to create different outfits. Different outfits create a wardrobe. Keeping this rule in mind will help you shop strategically and help you create more outfits in your existing wardrobe. Now, the last one in our 4 points of purchase is accessories. Ooh, accessories can save an outfit. Adding the right accessories can take an outfit that's more modern and make it seem more vintage. Accessories like collar bars, tie clips, caps, boutonnieres, all of that is shorthand for vintage. Just as many traditionally female aesthetics can be accomplished with hair and makeup, for menswear aesthetics, it's accessories. Now, my final point is extremely important. Patience. Building your vintage style takes time. Anyone who wears vintage on a regular basis will tell you this. It doesn't happen overnight, so be patient. It's about digging into your inspiration, finding pieces, focusing on staples, looking for more inspiration, finding standout pieces that can be supported by those staples, and on and on and on. With strong inspiration and careful execution, you can build style that will last. Take your time. You can do it. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for helping me create this video. If you want to become a part of our online community, click the link in the description below. We'll be happy to have you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications. And let me know in the comments what has been your biggest challenge when creating your vintage style. My name's Dandy Wellington, and I'll see you soon.